What's good, R&B squad? This is Out of Ruth. I trust that this message meets you guys in good spirits. If you're new to this family, we don't believe that you're here by accident. Welcome. We're happy to have you, and Jesus is, of course, always happier. The word that I have today comes from a dream that I had and some scripture that the Lord pointed me to accompany this dream. And as you guys listen, as per usual, you know whether or not it is for you. You know how we do it here. Eat the meat, spit out the bone, take what's for you, and leave the rest. This dream is very detailed, so as you listen, you will know for sure if this is something you can relate to. There will be no mistaking whether or not you can relate to it. In addition to that, how you will know it's for you is that some of these things have already happened, some are currently happening, and some are about to happen in the future. So you're going to know it's for you because you know you've seen some of these things happen and you're aware of some of these things. Now, the Lord had me all in y'all's business for whom this is for. So just brace yourselves. And in addition to that, when I woke up from this dream, I felt so much hope. I felt a range of emotions. I felt hope. I felt joy. More than anything else, I felt a sense of relief and reassurance. And I know that that is how you are going to feel. This was me experiencing the emotions that I know that you are going to feel for whom this is for. When God shows you the bigger picture of what is happening and what will happen. So I'm going to start with the scripture and build on that and then get into the dream and the interpretation. The scripture comes from Isaiah chapter 61, verse 7, and this is going to be in the description box. Instead of your shame, you will receive a double portion, and instead of disgrace, you will rejoice in your inheritance. And so you will inherit a double portion in your land, and everlasting joy will be yours. So now in this dream, there was this woman, and the first thing that I noticed about this woman was that she seemed physically dirty. She seemed somehow physically unclean. But I was immediately made to understand that what I was seeing was not dirtiness or dirt in the physical. What I was seeing was spiritual dirt that was showing on the outside. So this woman was spiritually dirty. And I was also made to understand that she was the ex-partner of this man who was now involved with a different woman. And the new woman that he was involved with, this was his God-ordained wife. Now, this woman, his ex, at one point, she began to appear as a younger version of herself. So instead of seeming the age that she was at first, she appeared as a younger version of herself. And she was carrying around these things that looked like scripture verses, etc. And the Lord quickened me in the spirit and let me know that even though this person presents as somebody who knows God, she is spiritually unclean in his eyes. And if this is for you, that may already have begun to ring a bell for you. You may already know somebody like this, somebody who on the surface professes to know the Lord, but they're spiritually dirty, and God has already put this in your spirit and let you know this. And what happened is that I started to see this woman as the younger version of herself, and the woman who was the man's God-ordained wife started to see her in the same way as the younger version of herself. And so what happened was that this younger version of this woman, she was involved with this man. So the woman, it's like we were seeing her past and seeing some of her history and whom she had been involved with. She had been involved with this other man. Before you get confused, this was not the God-ordained partner of the woman, the new woman that I'm speaking about. This was another man that his ex, who was spiritually dirty, had been involved with at a point when she was younger than she is now. And the most I'm going to say about this relationship is that it was inappropriate. I'm not going to go into detail. I'm just going to say that it was inappropriate because it's of a very sensitive nature. So the relationship was an inappropriate one. And this man that this woman had been involved with, it appears as though this woman that was spiritually dirty, it appears as though this man, that was his thing. He enjoyed getting involved with girls around that age. And he'd left her for one of these girls. So he cheated on her with a bunch of these girls, and then he'd left her for one of these girls. And that had left her very bitter and very angry and very damaged on the inside. So this inappropriate relationship that she had with this man when she was younger, it did a lot of psychological and emotional damage and contributed a lot to the person that she is presently, to being spiritually dirty. And so the woman who was now involved with her ex-partner, who was now her ex-partners, and when I say ex-partner, don't get confused. I'm not speaking of the man who was involved with her in the inappropriate relationship. I'm speaking of the man who was involved with her, the other man who was involved with her, and is no longer involved with her, and now his God-ordained partner is in his life. So he's met the woman who's really supposed to be his wife. Now, the woman who's really supposed to be this other man's wife, she somehow came into contact, like I said, with his ex who had this past that was deeply disturbing. And she tried, what the ex did, this woman who was spiritually dirty, is she tried to cause this woman to feel pity for her. And the woman did, and as such, she tried to show her love. She tried to extend a show of compassion to her, and I felt that this came from a very genuine place. This lady was a very sweet, very understanding woman. And she tried to show love and grace to this woman, hoping that it would have an impact and make up for what she'd been through. Because apparently she wasn't aware of the woman's past until now. She wasn't aware of her ex-partner's past until now. And so she tried to show the woman a little bit of grace because she felt like that was what she needed. She just needed some love in order for her to change and make a positive change. But just when she thought that that woman was making a positive change, again she sees her as she was as her younger self. And she's now in this woman's space. She's in this woman's room. And she brought the man who had been in the inappropriate relationship with her into the room. And she was questioning him, asking him stuff like, who are those other girls that you've been with? What did you do? Who did you cheat on me with? And he was reluctant to tell her. And somehow looking at her, I knew she had something up her sleeve, that there was something that she was going to do to that man the minute he admitted to what he'd done. And sure enough, I noticed that there was a string around that man's neck. I don't know how he did not notice that there was a string around his neck, but he had a string around his neck, and one end of the string was attached to the door. So if anybody opened the door, he would literally be strangled. And the woman who was her ex-partner's God-ordained spouse. And again, so that you guys don't get confused, the ex-partner that I'm talking about is not the man that she was involved in the inappropriate relationship with. These are two different men that she was involved with at two different parts of her life. So now the ex-partner, who was this woman who was showing her the compassion and grace, who was her God-ordained partner, he came to see the woman. And he brought things with him, and it looked like he brought these things to have an indoor picnic with her. And he was telling her that he hoped the things were fresh because he picked them up a little while ago. And he mentioned something about bringing along double the amount. And that is very significant. Pay attention to that. And as he was telling her that he brought double the amount of something amongst the things that he brought for the picnic, she was thinking, and I knew what she was thinking, that she also had double the amount of that same thing. And she thought that they could put it together and enjoy it together. But she knew she had to get that woman, the woman who was spiritually unclean, that she had to get her up out that room before she let her God-ordained partner in, who was his ex, who was the ex of this woman who was unclean. So she told the woman, she started saying to the woman, you gotta go, but you need to go out the door, the other door. So there were two doors. Her God-ordained partner was standing outside one door waiting for her to let him in. And then there was another door, and she was telling this woman who was in this state of being younger, she was telling her that she had to leave out the next door so that she would not cross paths with the God-ordained partner whom she had been involved with before. And so what she did, was that she started, like I said, hastening her out and telling her, you gotta go. But I could tell that while she was doing that, she was feeling a little bit bad about it. Like, now I'm kicking her out, just when she's getting used to the idea of me showing her compassion and showing her love. And all this time, she does not notice that this is going on, that this woman has brought her other ex into the room, whom she had been in the previous inappropriate relationship with. And then not just that, she had set up the situation for him to be strangled if anybody opened the door. And now this guy, the woman's God-ordained partner, he doesn't know what's going on the other side of the door that has the string attached to it that's attached to that guy's neck. So he goes ahead and he opens the door, and sure enough, the man starts choking because of this string around his neck that's attached to the door. And the God-ordained partner of the other woman sees what's going on, and he saves the man. But the man is barely alive when he saves him. And then he and his God-ordained partner, they get out of the situation. And then the scene switches, and it's a different scene. And I can tell that in this scene, this is me seeing the future. And I saw this house with the woman and her God-ordained partner in it. And they had two beautiful children. They had one daughter with beautiful curly hair. I just feel the need to mention that. That's a clue for someone. This child had beautiful curly hair. And there was another little baby. And I did not know what the gender of the baby was, but there was another little baby. And I had the sense that this man spoiled his wife so much that he doted on her and doted on his kids. And that was the end of the dream. So let me get into the interpretation. For someone, your God-ordained partner has an ex who has a questionable past. This ex, when she was younger than she is now, was involved in a relationship with a man that was inappropriate. Now, this man that she was involved with is not your God-ordained partner. She was also involved with your God-ordained partner at some point, but he isn't the man who hurt her. The man who really hurt her and who really stole a lot of her youth, this is the man that is primarily responsible for a lot of the things that she suffered, and a lot of the ways in which she is now can be traced back to that relationship that she had. Now, at some point, you're going to come to know about this past of your person's ex, and you're going to be moved with compassion. But when you're moved with compassion, be careful and don't extend any friendship to this person, because they're up to no good. Even if they try to make you feel sorry for them, this person is up to no good. And her desire is for revenge. This person is just seeking revenge. And if you're a man listening to this, just flip it. This could be for you as well. This could have been a man who was involved with your God-ordained partner. He may have had a questionable past, and now he's spiritually dirty because of his past. Like I said before, do not go extending friendship to these people, no matter how sorry you feel for them. They do not have good intentions. This person does not have good intentions. Matter of fact, their intentions are straight up murderous. See, this woman, she had it in mind that if anybody leaves her, that she would rather see them die than live. And if she could play a part in unaliving them, she would. So even your person, sir or ma'am, as you're listening to this ex does not want to see them live because they're no longer involved with them. And befriending this person is only going to get in the way. Notice there were two doors. There was one door that the woman was trying to get her out of, and then there was another door that she was trying to let her God-ordained partner into. You cannot have these two people in your life at the same time. This person has to go completely in order for you to make room for your God-ordained partner. So you cannot go feeling, you can pray for this person. You can pray for their salvation, but you cannot go extending friendship to this individual, because that's only going to get in the way and hold things up between you and your God-ordained partner. This will hold things up and cause a delay between you and your God-ordained partner if you befriend this person. So do not fall for it. Do not fall for it. But what is going to happen in the ending is that when all of this is over, this person is going to marry you, and you are going to be one spoiled spouse. They're going to spoil you. They're going to love on you. And yeah, you guys are going to have kids as well, because I did see the two beautiful children. And that's the word, guys. And in addition to that, because that guy mentioned the God ordained partner, because when he came with the things to have the indoor picnic, he mentioned that he had double the amount of something. He'd brought double the amount of something. And the woman, his God ordained partner, she was thinking at the same time that she had double the amount of the same thing. Whatever you guys are going through right now, just know that God is going to give you both a double portion blessing. You're going to be blessed for the hardships that you're going through, according to that scripture, Isaiah 61, verse 7. So hang in there. It might look turbulent now, but the end is going to be beautiful. So I hope that this message blessed someone. I love you guys. I will be back with another word as soon as the Lord releases me. Take care.